Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Cosmic Culture, the channel where we talk about all major movie and television news, theories, breakdowns, and much more. And today, as per usual, we have some Spider-Man news to go over, as somebody claims to have seen the second trailer. They gave us the time and a bunch of details written out really nicely, so we have a trailer to leak to go over for Spider-Man No Way Home. Real quick before we jump into the video, the Cosmic Wonder and I are doing another Spider-Man action figure giveaway. All you need to do to enter for this one is subscribe to this channel and subscribe to the Cosmic Wonder. Make sure you're commenting on the videos as they're posted, because we'll be picking a random comment as the winner. So good luck to you. So, Spider-Man No Way Home, no questions for any of you here watching this video. One of the biggest cinematic moments ever to happen, with multiple different generations of Spider-Man joining us on the screen. However, the question that remains is, when are we going to get an official confirmation of these three Spider-Men? Well, according to this leak, we might be waiting just a little bit longer. Here's what the leak has to say. Now, the individual who saw the trailer said that it lasted 3 minutes and 17 seconds. So a pretty decently large trailer, but keep in mind this is the first and probably only full-size trailer we will be getting for Spider-Man No Way Home, as we're almost only a month away for it. Surely we will start getting a ton of TV spot trailers composed of different moments with a few new footage moments in it. However, the majority of what we are going to see for this movie will be in this trailer, so I'm not surprised by the super long 3 minute and 17 second margin. He goes on and says, "It was finished, so I believe it'll come out soon, but I don't know when." Now, this is a reference to the completion of the trailer. There's no special effects that need to be done in it, or any other editing moments that seem to be off, voiceovers, stuff like that. A lot of times when visual effects workers are leaking trailers or sharing information of trailers, or sometimes even when they show it in a small group to get feedback, the trailers aren't completely done. This individual is saying the trailer is done and ready to go. He goes on and talks about the content of the trailer, saying Strange explains the spell a bit better. Peter says that his identity being revealed is affecting everyone around him, and he has no other choice. Now, I think this is a direct reference to a different leak we've heard about the plot of the movie, where him and MJ can't get into MIT, especially MJ can't get into MIT because of her dating Peter Parker. Everybody knows who Peter Parker is. He's Spider-Man. This was revealed at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. And she can't get into MIT because he's this terrible villain, and MIT won't want to associate with her. That's one detail we have from the plot, and a reason why Peter Parker is trying to make everybody forget who he is. So I think that backs up that plot leak and definitely expounds on it. We see that detail coming from Peter Parker wanting everybody to be okay, and that they all know who he is making it a little bit more difficult. They move on and says, someone throws green paint at Peter. Now again, we've seen this. We've also heard this will be featured in the second trailer. The reason being probably because it's been leaked, but the important part about this is supposedly this is how Peter will put his suit inside out. His red and black suit, showing all the circuits on the inside, the gold lining of the black suit. So this is how he originally gets his black and gold suit, which will later probably get some magic buffs from Doctor Strange. It goes on to say, there's a single shot of Peter at what looks like a courtroom, which makes perfect sense. We've seen him marching into the courtroom. We've seen him being questioned by investigators, the FBI potentially. So very, very little surprise that we'll be seeing him there. There is no mention of Matt Murdock, who is the character that plays Daredevil. We've heard extensive rumors that Matt Murdock, not Daredevil, will make an appearance in this film, and maybe this is that moment right before we see him that they show in the trailer. It goes on to say, Doctor Strange says they shouldn't have messed with the spell, and we've heard a moment of this, I think, in the trailer as well, where Doctor Strange is talking about how little they know about the multiverse. And obviously, without question, just based off of the villains we've seen, we know the multiverse has been affected, and Doctor Strange has mentioned it as well. So zero questions about the manipulation of the multiverse that is happening, and obviously Doctor Strange has a little bit of remorse and laments doing the spell for Peter. Moving forward, again, it says we see a shot of Peter talking to someone at a cafeteria, but it doesn't show who the person is. Now, this is an interesting one because it could be Miles Morales, seeing that this cafeteria is the place in the comics where he volunteers. So a lot of people are hoping that we will see Miles Morales. I don't know how much I personally expect to see Miles Morales moving into the film. There is enough going on already, but it's very possible they'll hint at him, or we'll see the boy Miles Morales and not the Spider-Man character Miles Morales. The leak goes on to say that we will be seeing Lizard behind a magical barrier. Peter stares at him with a scared look. He has pants, but it's the same design. He has pants, but it's the same design from The Amazing Spider-Man. So this might be a clarification for a lot of us. We had that one scene where we were trying to guess which villain this was behind the magical barrier, and it looks like we're going to get a decent look at Lizard, who pretty much everybody is very sure will be in. Not only that, but there was a etching of him on Empire magazine, so I think this one's pretty confirmed that he's going to be in, so getting an official confirmation from the trailer would be very, very nice. It also goes on to say Sandman is shown as a big sand monster. Now, we've got glimpses of this a few times in the first trailer, but to get an official look at Sandman as well, much like Lizard, it'll be very nice to see that incorporated within the trailer to get a couple official looks off of our hands. More villains are involved moving forward, as it says that we see a fight with Electro at night. Peter has the black and gold suit, Electro has a yellow and green gas station suit with yellow electricity shining on part of his skin. So more villains. It seems like this trailer is going to dive heavily into the villains, as it looks like it will be revealing all of them. It sounds like Electro has a very comic book accurate outfit, and his yellow lightning beams might be even cooler as well. Overall, I'm excited to see the character. I'm excited to see each of these villains, and I think it's a good thing to put into the trailers to help spread that hype and that excitement for how many different villains from different universes we're going to be seeing. And on that topic, there's one more. We see Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin explaining to Peter that if Strange sends them back to their worlds, they would die, and he has to help them. We only see his face, and he was wearing a purple scarf. Again, this ties in perfectly to another plot leak that we've heard, saying that Peter is actually the one that lets all of the villains out of the prison that Doctor Strange is holding them in. Obviously, Doctor Strange has a little bit of work to do after the spell goes awry and the multiverse is opened, and he's been capturing some of the effects of this. Although it's not 100% confirmed that this is directly from the effects of Peter's spell, it is a possibility and would make a lot of sense. Moving on from there, we get more confirmation for the same leak, where it says there's a few scenes showing Strange chasing Peter. Peter is holding a cube, same from the first trailer. Strange says that Peter doesn't know what he's doing. This goes hand in hand with the last leak we were just talking about, how Peter releases them from this magical prison. The cube is supposedly a key, and Doctor Strange and Peter are going to get into it. We see a little bit of this in the first trailer as well, as Doctor Strange is chasing Peter on the train and using magic all around him, but ultimately I don't think Doctor Strange and Peter will be fighting for too long, because after Peter probably releases all these villains, him and Doctor Strange are going to have to team up so they can try to take them down. And of course, the last villain that we haven't talked about to be confirmed in the movie is Doc Ock, and it says we see a lot more of the bridge scene with Doc Ock. We don't see Peter fighting him, only saving people around as Doc approaches and grabs him. Now that's an interesting detail, because we've definitely seen a ton of images of Doc Ock and Peter fighting, especially one where Doc Ock has him in his tentacles, literally ripping him into bits, and we've seen him struggling, seen him running. So this is probably the sequence that we know the most about just off of pictures revealed, different leaks and plot moments. So I'm excited to see this a little bit more put together, but again, not surprised that we will be seeing it just because of how much we already know about it. At the end of the day, I do still believe that they don't want to reveal too much in this trailer, so that the movie can still be crazy cool and an awesome experience when it happens. Moving on, it says MJ and Ned at the Sanctum. Ned says to Doctor Strange that he always wanted to see a real wizard. Then Ned asks if he can wear the cape, and Strange makes an annoyed face. Now, there is another leak going around that Ned is the one that actually brings the other two Spider-Men into our universe to help Peter and Doctor Strange. It is possible that Ned was messing around with Doctor Strange stuff, got his hands on a sling ring, and made it happen. I would be kind of surprised to see this, and I don't know how much I like the idea of this, so I don't necessarily hope it's real, because I don't think Ned can just pick up a sling ring and use magic, unless maybe there's more to Ned than we know. Maybe he has a very strong connection with the mythical forces, and he's capable of doing something like this. It would just come off as a little bit of a surprise to me. And I would definitely hope to get a little bit more explanation from that as well. The last bit of information we get about the trailer is that the trailer ends with someone saying that Peter will need help on a black screen, then shows two shadows walking into the Sanctum. We only see the shadows on the ground, then a shot of Peter with a confused look. The music that plays is a mix of Tobey and Andrew's soundtrack. Tickets on sale now at the very end. So, what I would consider to be an official confirmation that Tobey and Andrew are in the film would be their shadows with their music playing overhead, because why would they play somebody else's music for these two, if not just to tease us a little bit further. I like the idea of not seeing them in the trailer just yet, of them taking their time to give us that first visual look at them. I even hope they're not really on the poster or in any TV spots. I hope our first look at Tobey and Andrew making their return to the superhero world, to the MCU, would be in the theater. I'm completely fine with that. I know a lot of you guys aren't, but I think this is a good compromise. We get an official confirmation that Tobey and Andrew are going to be involved. There's two shadows, there's their music. That's good enough for me. And we get to maintain the first look for the film. We've already heard and seen leaks that their suits are going to be the same, that Tobey Maguire's suit is actually going to still have some of the same rips and holes in it from the third movie. So I think we know what the suits look like. We don't need a suit reveal. We don't need more confirmation than we already have in what this trailer is depicting. Again, a very long trailer and a lot of details, some of which we've already heard in plot leaks, and some of which we were waiting for confirmation about, like Tobey and Andrew. But I think it's going to be a really, really cool trailer, and definitely going to cause a ton of excitement to run through the community, as we are all extremely anxious for the release of this film in a little over a month. Tickets on sale now. Obviously, pre-sales is going to be something Sony's very excited about, and that was what brought the argument that pushed the trailer back in the first place, was whether or not they should reveal Tobey and Andrew or not. Sony wanted to, Disney didn't. It looks like they found a pretty decent compromise, and overall, I think we're in for a very exciting, very long, and detailed trailer about certain plot points that will bring us into the final act without giving anything away. I'm super excited for 1, the trailer, 2, the movie, and 3, the experience that it's going to be watching the trailer with you guys and sharing all of your excitement. I can't wait for that. Let me know what you think about this trailer leak. This supposedly comes from somebody who saw a completed version of it, gave us the exact time, the information that we should be expecting, and it lines up with a ton of separate plot leaks and theories that have been going around about the film, including the most important, Tobey and Andrew. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thank you to everybody who watched to the very end of the video. If you found it helpful, useful, or entertaining, consider subscribing to the channel, turning on that notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads, and I'll see you all in the next one right here on Cosmic Culture.